I'm Khyzyl Saleem, and today I'm going to be rendering the new Lamborghini Countach. Now this car looks awesome, standard, but I personally felt it just needed a little bit extra.
I feel like Lamborghini kind of missed out with the rear lights of this car. And it's okay to create something different, well, otherwise what's the point? So I really wanted to look at that car and go, damn, yeah, that's something I want on my wall.
What's up everybody, welcome to my design studio. I'm Khyzyl Saleem, and today I'm going to be rendering the new Lamborghini Countach. Now this car looks awesome, standard, but I personally felt it just needed a little bit extra. Lamborghini had a great opportunity here to redesign a classic. I just want to put a bit of my own spin to it, make it more my own. And I have ideas clearly as to what I want to do already, make it a bit more of a homage to the original Countach. So yeah, let's take a look at that.
I'm gonna go ahead and open an app called PureRef. And basically in that I can comp together images off Google, use any reference images and just have it all in one place. It's a bit like creating a mood board. I have a very rough idea in my head as to what I want to create, and it tends to be the best way for me to work, just having a vague idea, and then when I get started on the car I will build and continue to kind of develop that idea as I go along. There are other instances where I know exactly what I want to create and I'll go ahead and I'll start that, but for the most part, yeah, it kind of helps to have a vague idea. I feel like Lamborghini kind of missed out with the rear lights of this car. They created this homage and they got so much right, but so many things that were kind of wrong or could have been done better. So hopefully, maybe we can do something a bit more with them. So next step, I tend to go and find a model of the car. Now, I can model a car from scratch, but this would take a significant amount of time. So I tend to head to a website called Squire or TurboSquid, and I find a base model, and then I'll typically use that as a starting base. And that's how I create most of the cars that you see online. 3ds Max is my software of choice, mainly because it's what I used when I worked at EA Games. So as soon as the car's loaded into 3ds Max, personally I prefer to get all my materials on the car first, because that will help me visualize what the car looks like. So I'll kind of create the car black so I'm not missing any parts, and then I'll add like body colors, make it white or make it red, whatever, and then add chrome to the wheels and stuff, lower it a bit. That's typically how I start. So I'm not a professional 3D modeler by any means at all. I'm used to quickly concepting ideas for my job or for work, especially in the game industry and especially in concept art. Using 3D as a base is really helpful, especially for game developers and kind of creators that are building an environment or car or prop based off your idea. So when I kind of start modeling, it's just getting rough shapes out there. And if something doesn't make sense, I'll go back later, fix it, change it, maybe even redo it. And that's just the best way for me to work. So let's have a little review as to where we're at. So you can see we have wider arches, front and rear going on. The front of the car, I've kind of molded the front bumper to mimic, the original shape. But in terms of rear arches and front arches, I kind of try to mimic the shape of the original anniversary Countach. They're not quite round or circular, they're quite rectangular as well. And then it came to figuring out what I wanted to do with the rear spoiler. What angle do I want the spoiler to be? Do I still want to keep it angular? I wanted to keep the modern look to the car as well, otherwise what's the point? You're just recreating the old Lamborghini. So I wanted to kind of maintain the modern aesthetic that Lamborghini went with on the new variant, but add my own spin to it. What I don't want to forget when making this car is Lamborghini's modern design language. A good example of this is you look at Lamborghini's SC20, whether that's a concept or not. It has a spoiler at the back with a center support, and it's those kinds of elements that you'll see a slight bend in the wing, and that could be a reminiscent of the old Countach, or it is inspired by the old Countach. And it's just those things that I think it's very nice to keep and have. But also the whole point of having something new is to kind of build upon the foundation that was there already. And it's okay to create something different. I think sometimes we can be too far attached in the past and, the Supra doesn't look like the old Supra or whatever, But I think it's good to keep progressing and change things and move forward. So I wanted to still keep a bit of that there. So another little update. We're getting there again, further. Most of the shape is there. It's in a place that I'm quite happy with so far. I'm still not quite sure about the rear spoiler. You'll see that it looks quite similar to the SC20. I'm just not sure if it's too modern or not for the kind of look that we're going for here, but I like the fact that it's a new take on the old Countach spoiler. I think in terms of body shape, fender wise, width and everything, we're pretty much there and it's looking pretty cool. Next step after this, I think I'll throw it into a very simple environment, throw some lights on there, get some color on there, just because this will help me see how reflections are reacting with the shapes that I've created. And this can make or break a design. It can be very simple or very not simple and not good. So yeah, you'll see that process as well. And then I need to figure out wheels, stance, height. I love to slam cars just for the fun of it. I think they look good. May not be as functional, but I enjoy that look and the aesthetic. So yeah, we'll try and figure those things out. But yeah, it'll be interesting. that looks pretty cool, especially with the orange in contrast to the white. But I think for this type of car, the vibe we're going for, I think that's probably the favorite word of this video, vibe and aesthetic. But yeah, I think we want some neon-y colors, maybe a light blue blending into purple, you know, like that kind of the neon vibe. So I think we'll go ahead and do that and see how it goes. That looks pretty nice. I can't really complain. I think I need to raise it a bit, maybe reduce the splitter size a little bit, slightly excessive, but for the most part, it's pretty cool. So, you know, I love what Lamborghini did. It wasn't difficult to kind of change the car to make it look like something that I wanted. I just think that they didn't utilize the opportunity that they had there to the max, you know, like the max potential they had, especially rear lights. They could have done something squarish or rectangular towards the rear. They had, you know, I know it's not the anniversary edition, but they could have done something with the, you know, special spoiler, the kind of in the rear insets that go towards cooling the engine at the back. And if you're going to do something like that, why not go all out?
Thank you very much for watching. Please give a like and subscribe if you wish to. Hit that little bell notification, and I'll see you next time.